the town. Everywhere we go, we bring the curtains down. Shandor's got his head up in the clouds so high. And Farty's dropping truth bombs, making grown men cry. We smell like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. From bars to cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. Sanders got a mouth that never knows when to quit. He'll say the wrong thing just for the hell of it. Farty's on a rant about the state of the nation, while Sanders in the corner lacking concentration. We swear like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. From bars to cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Shander is a dreamer with his head in the world. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. Lander tried to flirt, but it turned into a mess. He called her a lady, she heard hot mess. Farty's on his soapbox, preaching to the crowd, but all they hear is noise cause he's way too loud. We swear like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. From bars to cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. So if you see us coming, better lock the door. Cause Sandra and Farty are always looking for more. We're a whirlwind of chaos, a two-man parade. And we'll keep on rolling till a legend is made. Yeah, we'll keep on rolling till a legend is made. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Shandor's a dreamer with his head in a whirl. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Sanders a dreamer with his head in the world. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. Sanders tried to flirt, but it turned into a mess. He called her a lady, she heard hot mess, didn't find her. Yeah, we'll keep on rolling till I let your hair curl. So if you see us coming, better lock the door. Cause Shonda and Farty are always looking for more. We're a whirlwind of chaos, a two-man parade.
Germans were lonely in World War One. They'd usually grab a duck and then they'd find a thing with a chest of drawers in it, and they'd put the duck's head in the chest of drawers and just close it gently so the duck's head was stuck in there.
Oh, no.
And then they'd sort of like go in from behind, and apparently while that was happening,
No.
the little feet were tapped away, and fucking when they were done, all right, they'd just close the door, like close the drawer.
Oh my God, Farty. All right, we just started this stream. Thank you guys for watching. We are definitely canceled now.
Well, you brought the ducks up. That just reminded me of that story.
That was like an hour ago, Farty. That was before the stream. And that was me complaining that I had to get up and move shit out of my way to get up and fucking go. You should see my place right now. It's a fucking pigsty. I've just stopped caring. I'm just fucking I don't give a shit anymore. I think I've lost the capacity to care.
Well, it could be worse. It sounds like this.
You said it could be worse, what?
It could sound like this.
It could. Glossing over that. So I was having some internet issues, also having some other bullshit go on. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but mostly internet issues. I wanted to get the show back up and running Sunday. We couldn't do it Sunday. I had to wait till today to do the stream, and even then, like, I'm not blaming Farty. So everyone, keep your butt plugs in. All right, I'm not blaming Farty. Farty was asleep, when I was actually getting ready to go live earlier. I wanted to go live a little bit earlier this afternoon, and Farty was in bed because it's like early morning for you right now, right? Like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Oh, it was about 3 a.m. when you wanted to. So yeah,
Yeah, but it's
o'clock.
like right now it's like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yeah, just went 9 a.m. as you said.
Yeah. So that's the point I want to stress is that Farty lives on the other fucking side of the planet, and so I have to keep in mind that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me is like back at dawn for Farty. And Farty, were you able to get your breakfast sandwich?
Hey.
Were you able to get your breakfast sandwich? Did you go down to Salvo's get some food?
Nah, just grab some coffee instead. Fucking, now normally it's alright because my insomnia's usually fucking got me up around that time of the morning. It's just every now and then fucking everyone decides to go on fucking strike and shut the whole fucking system down, and I can sleep through a nuclear bomb blast if you wanted me to.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Just a heads up, I'm in the mid-range of my internet connection right now. Not great, but not terrible. So if we experience more issues, which there shouldn't be, but if there are more issues, I'm going to be very, very upset. Any hoozles. I'm sorry, Farty.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm closing out shit to try and keep a good what's it called going.
Gotta hold it together, Captain.
Pretty much, I feel like a shitty version of Scotty from Star Trek. Just fucking duct taping everything together. I'm a redneck. I'm the redneck equivalent of Scotty. Just fucking keep it together.
Hey, that just gave me an idea for a bit of a scheme.
Oh God, no! What is it, Farty?
If they ever invent time travel, right? We go back in time and then be the inventors of gaffer tape, and then we get Paramount to use gaffer tape in Star Trek as Scotty's magical fix-all special fucking thingy-bob, so we get free advertisement out of that and then become fucking rich.
Oh God. We'll just take a fucking rollback with us and be like, this is what I invented. I want you to copy it. We'll go to 3M. We'll get it patented and we'll have 3M manufacture it. So we'll be getting royalties from the patent as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can be like, like how fucking Doctor Who's got his sonic screwdriver. It could be like Scotty's fucking great gaffer tape or something.
Yeah. It's like an infinite roll of gaffer tape.
Yeah. It's not 40 mile an hour tape. It's like 6 times the speed of light tape.
Oh my God. Which brings me to a point. Fuck Star Trek, right?
Something happened where fucking Paramount's lost the rights recently or some shit?
I don't know. I really don't.
Well, Paramount got gobbled up and now someone else has got the rights.
Oh. You know what? Let me look it up. I'll look it up just for you, Farty.
Well, I vaguely knew something about it, and then when I heard it, it was kind of like, oh, cool, that'd be great for the fans. Now the fucking Nazis aren't in charge anymore. Because you know how the difference between a Trekkie and a fucking and a Jedi is that fucking when the fans in the Star Wars used to make fucking parodies in their own little fucking projects and shit like that, Lucas had Like, if he ever heard about it, he'd say, "Do you want to come down to Skywalker Ranch and use our gear?" Fucking. Whereas Star Trek, anything to do with Star Trek that wasn't fucking licensed shit, they'd fucking come down on them like a ton of bricks. Fucking. So like now, fucking people can do things like what was it? Prelude to Axanar and stuff like that, because I think they got fucking canned because of fucking Paramount.
Okay.
That was really good, actually. That was really well done.
Yeah. So I've got the article here. If we want to go through it real quick, you want me to read it out loud?
Okay.
In the latest twist in Paramount Global's M&A saga, Sony Pictures Entertainment and Apollo Global Management. Apollo Global Management, I think, is one of those private equity firms. Made a bid to take Paramount private with an all-cash buyout offer of $26 billion. That's B-I-L-L-I-O-N. Billion with a B. Like B for your mother's a bitch.
Yeah.
Sony and I'm not calling your mom a bitch, Farty. I don't know your mom. I'm sure she's a great lady from everything you've said about her. So,
Talking about Carl's mum.
What's that?
We're talking about Carl's mum.
Carl's mom, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fucking dumb. Huh? Talking about Kyle's mom, everyone. So Sony and private equity. Okay, yeah, I was right. Private equity giant Apollo submitted a letter with the non-binding offer on Wednesday to Paramount Global. When was this posted? Hang on, let me see when this was posted.
Should be a couple of weeks.
May 2nd. May 2nd this was posted. So this is a while ago. A few months back. To Paramount Global, as first reported by the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. The bid, which would include the assumption of debt and could be negotiated, would be premium over the company's current $22 billion enterprise value. The tag team buyout bid comes as Paramount Global Board's special committee established to consider M&A proposals for evaluating the best and final offer from Skydance Media to merge Paramount and Skydance while keeping Paramount Global public. Sherry Redstone, controlling shareholder of Paramount Global, is known to prefer consummating a deal with David Ellison's Skydance, whose bid is backed by Redbird Capital Partners. Reps for Paramount Global and the board's special committee declined to comment. Reps for Apollo and Sony Entertainment didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Shares of Paramount Global.
Hold that thought for a second.
Okay.
Hang on, hold that thought for a sec. Okay, so now I might be wrong on this, but apparently there's an entity called Paramount TV.
There is.
And that's the actual entity that holds the rights to Star Trek.
Yes.
But then there's movie rights that's also, I think, Paramount Global or another company. And then Sony has an element of some other rights to movies and shit, but everything's also got to go through Paramount TV.
Yes.
Now, what I'm sort of a bit not too clear about so far is that I'm gathering Paramount Global's the movie element side of it. Is this other Paramount that they're referring to the TV side of it? Because that'd be the crux of like where I'm getting at with all of this. Is the ownership's being served.
Right. I can only make an assumption, Farty. And you know what they say about assuming.
That's the point we're looking for in this article. Like, what's happening with Paramount TV?
Okay,
Who's getting ownership of that? That's what's usurping the ownership of the Star Trek thing. But that's what I mean. Like when we're reading this, sort of.
Okay, well then let me find out. Let me ask Bing what's going on with Star Trek.
All right then.
What's going on with
it's nothing you're doing. It's more the writing of the article where they're not making it clear.
Okay, here's one from TrekMovie.com. So if we want Star Trek specific bullshit, we go to this bullshit site. There's an update on the Paramount takeover buzz that kicked off last month with David. Okay, this was posted January 25th. So now we're even. Hang on.
Oh yeah, well shit will progress way further
Oh yeah,
than that article.
that's way. Oh okay. There. This is the update. The update that says there's an update from the. Okay, so where's the update? Where's the fucking update? Where's the fucking update?
Go to the end, scroll back up.
No, this is from January. This whole article is from January. There's no
Yeah.
like edit here. You know, there's no addition. There's no update edition. Trek franchise. Let's see what's going on. Trek franchise. Paramount invites fans to take the chair and join charity campaign celebrating. I don't fucking care about Star Trek. You know what? I don't care anymore. I lost interest. What's the next topic?
Oh, well, I'm not really that interested either. I just thought, that's
Oh.
the only sort of thing that, because it did sound like that it was a soft power play, and I thought it was also funny how Paramount TV's been fucking lauding fucking the ownership of Star Trek over everything that's an entity bigger than them for fucking decades, and now all of a sudden someone's just come along and nipped it out from underneath them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that hasn't happened yet. Although I did see Elon Musk put a tweet out that that he wants to own Starfleet Academy. You know, he wants to make Star Force or Starfleet Academy or whatever in real life, and fucking and this was like about a month or so ago I saw this, and fucking Will Shatner fucking quote tweets the dude going, "Oh, so you want to buy Paramount?" And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, Elon Musk should buy Paramount. Have context for what the fuck they were talking about it, and I fully support Elon Musk buying Paramount
one, too.
Television and Paramount Global or whatever the fuck the case may be.
Yeah, he just glitched out there for a minute.
Did I really? Fucking fuck,
Yeah.
fuck.
Fucking
Yeah, dropping
Well-
frames. Hang on, let's see what happens when I stop rendering window captures. Well, that instantly improved every fucking thing.
well, there you go. It probably would be a good idea if Elon Musk took over Paramount
Fucking
because, well,
God.
especially as I was saying with like the whole fucking Star Trek thing with the fan, the fan projects and whatnot, he'd be more likely to let people do that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
kinda pissed. Oh well. Not my goat anymore. Yeah, if he bought Paramount, then he could legally use Starfleet as a branding. And just be like, yeah, we're gonna send people to fucking Mars. Come join Starfleet Academy to go to Mars. I'll be on the first fucking flight out. I'll be like 90 years old and on the fucking first flight to Mars to live on the red planet.
Well, he'll have to do something like Starfleet because, well, currently, you know, with SpaceX, well, what would it be? X Fleet, and then people will run into it thinking they can turn into mutants and shit.
Bump, 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 na 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 na. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm fucking done. All right, next topic. What are we talking about? I know we started talking about the Diddy stuff, but you know, everyone's been talking about it lately. I don't know if we can add anything to the conversation.
Well, only more like just the Prince Harry thing, and what happened to fucking Bieber, and it's kind of looks very, very similar, and the depth of it, like I don't think a lot of people are sort of like getting the information about how deep it goes with the celebrities. Like, you know, they say to the celebrities in general, say, be prepared to say goodbye to your favourite one because it's fucking everybody.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. Also, like people in the church and when the body, according to the bodyguard, also princes, plural. So that's just not just fucking
Dude, I
Harry.
mean, let's be honest. The church was like an easy target.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you
Yeah.
consider the fucking current pope. The current pope is definitely a fucking pedophile. Look at the way he talks.
Well,
If he's
not just
not
that.
a pedophile, I will I will metaphorically eat my hat.
It's not just that he is a pedophile; he's also king of the pedos.
Yeah, you didn't have to, you know, you didn't have to add that to that farty. Now you just made me depressed.
Well, it's true.
Because I'm. It was a joke, farty. Because I'm always fucking depressed.
But he, well, yeah. So, according to some people, this even goes as far as Kamala Harris. So, I'm kind of also wondering too that this is also a story that's designed to distract everybody from something else that's going on, and there are a few little bits and bobs that I noticed that possibly could be, this could be a distraction from, and one could be like Camel Toe's piss poor performance on fucking Oprah. Then there's the fact that she shipped Vladimir Zelensky off to, I think, Wisconsin for a fucking a campaign function, which is apparently fucking insanely against the rules and fucking is going to get her into fucking heaps of mad trouble, and it's possibly why she tried to keep it a secret.
I am again having fucking internet dipping again, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Oh shit. Nope. Yes, I want to remove that. Alright, sorry, Farty. I'm watching the fucking I'm watching my upload speed not even hit 9,000 kilobytes a second. Not even 9,000 kilobytes a second. Oh, look, it went up to 9,000. And that's like
1,000.
Yeah, it's hovering in the range of like 8 to 8,500. And I'm not happy. Anyway, I sent you something on Twitter that I want you to see. I'm not going to post it up here because it yeah. Because then that'll just add to the strain apparently of fucking operating on YouTube.
Fucking, I reckon all the lube was because he's going to reinvent himself as Slippy P. He's going to get all slippy and slip about.
Oh my god.
That's his shtick.
You're fired.
But but no, yeah, I am kind of wondering, like, what the fuck is this distracting us from? And there's other bits around the world too.
Oh, I can tell you what it's a distraction from. It's a distraction from impending World War fucking 3. They don't want us to know that we're like 10 minutes past midnight now.
Yeah. Well, that was where I was just about to go.
Oh, did I step on your dick? I'm sorry, Farty.
Nah. No, well, fucking, 2 weeks ago, we were about 72 minutes away from fucking being nuked because Keir Starmer and fucking Joe Biden were about to sign a fucking document allowing fucking NATO programmed and telemetry fucking weapons to start hitting further into Russia, and because of that, Putin was going to say that's NATO involvement, so I'm going to retaliate against NATO, and
and the fucked up thing is Russia has the manpower to back up the, go ahead, fucking do what you want, but I'm going to nuke the whole fucking planet if you do.
Yeah.
And he's got, and here's the scary part, he's got the muscle to back that claim up. I'm not just saying this to fearmonger. He's got the fucking power to do it. And if he doesn't want to do it by himself, he's buddy with fucking China and fucking North Korea. Yeah, North Korea doesn't have a fucking really good nuclear or even a good rocket program, but you know what they do have is they have bodies, tons and tons of bodies.
Well, see, I've explained numerous times how if one goes, everybody goes.
Right.
And the reason for it, so even people who aren't attached, like India and Pakistan, will even launch. That fucking, the more frightening part about where we are now is that it's more what's called a semi-automatic mode. Certain parameters have already been put forward that if you do this, this will happen as a result, and it'll be an automatic thing. There won't be an order coming through. This is like, Yeah, and another thing that people don't understand is the difference in rank structure with the Russians compared to the Americans is where Americans have to wait until the commander-in-chief pushes the button, whereas in Russia it doesn't. It's not like that at all. Local commanders and stuff like that, so like battery commanders, nuclear ballistic missiles, have the authority to launch without being told by the Kremlin.
Oh yeah.
If certain things happen, we are now at that point where if certain things happen, certain people can act on their own to cause World War III without authority from the president of Russia.
Yep, and all it's going to take is one person, and it's just like that one guy in Russia fucking 40 years ago almost, who had the authority to launch a fucking nuclear strike against the rest of the world because there was a fucking, and no one ever talks about this because because nothing happened, but no one ever talks about the one guy who and there's a whole Emp Lemon video on this, I watched this guy called Emp Lemon. He used to do what's called YouTube poops, and those are just kind of, I'm not going to explain them because I don't understand them myself, but YouTube poop is basically you take an episode of your favorite TV show or something, and you chop it up into a meme, and you distill it down to whatever kind of meme direction you want to go with it, and you just turn it into a joke as an art form. And that's the very basic premise I can give you. I'm not going to go into a whole thing, but he used to do these YouTube poops, and now he does random shit now. And some of it is actually actually everything he does is kind of interesting and entertaining to me because he's just that kind of a personality. But some of the video topics I find interesting. And the one video he did was on this Russian guy who stopped World War III from happening because there was a radar screen that showed missiles were on the way to fucking hit Russia or something, and it turned out that it wasn't missiles, that it was something else entirely. And the guy held the button, huh?
It was a glitch.
Yeah. And
the guy's Stanislav Petrov.
Yes,
and
thank you.
This is exactly what I was talking about. He had the authority to launch without having to consult the Kremlin.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was NORAD and they saw the same thing. Now, this is another thing there too. He's not the only person who's done something like this. He's the only one that we know of.
Right.
Right. That's public. There's been numerous occasions where we've come very, very fucking close, and there's various different circumstances, and I'll let you get back onto it in a sec, but I'll tell you about, Abel Archer? He had the authority to just push the fucking button, but he decided, no, I'm going to wait, I don't believe this is happening, and then within the point where he was going to go fucking going to have to, that just went blip, and all the fucking missiles just disappeared off the screen.
Yeah.
Right at pretty much.
Yeah, so I I said, nobody talks about it, and it's just one instance of probably, like you said, probably many instances where we've been that fucking close, and it's, this guy was a real fucking hero, and he never got celebrated for it. He died recently, I think a couple years ago, and he just fucking disappeared. I think he ended up moving to the United States and just fucking disappearing off the face of the planet afterwards.
No, he stayed in Russia.
Did he? Oh, right. Yeah. He moved from where he was in Russia to a more rural area in Russia when he retired. I think that's the story. Yeah.
And just drew a pension.
Yeah. And he just died. No one ever fucking knew. And it only came out after his death. And so we're in that situation right now. That's the situation we're in right now. And I'm not saying this to fearmonger. I want everybody to know what the fuck is going on. And that this Diddy shit, this is just one of many things to distract us from that fucking horrible, horrible future. I mean, we had COVID a few years ago. We may as well World War III now, right?
Well, fucking, I've been saying that World War III's been going on for several years now. We haven't been fucking shooting yet, so.
Now, World War III's been
Okay.
going on since fucking World War II ended. It started with the Cold War, and yeah, the Cold War quote-unquote ended, but I don't think it actually ended. I think we just adopted a keep your enemies close type of mentality. And then I think after that, you know, I think now we're in the, you know what, fuck it. Let's just ignore our enemies for, you know, for the fucking meme.
Right. Okay. Exercise Able Archer. Fucking was another time that we came really fucking close. This happened in 1983.
Mm-hmm.
It was a communications exercise, and no one told the Russians what was going on, and it didn't bloody help that most of the way through this, the Swedes decided to send a sounding rocket up that fucking they didn't bother telling anybody about either. The Russians didn't see it on the radar, and it made a lot of people fucking shit their pants.
Right.
Now, what this exercise was effectively like a company of fucking dudes in the fucking bunch of fucking jeeps running around fucking Eastern Europe, making all these radio messages, making it sound like there was like full fucking tank divisions and infantry brigades and fucking all this shit amassing on the Eastern European borders.
Right.
Now, the Russians are listening to all of this, and they're taking it fucking seriously because they haven't been told it's a fucking it's an exercise, and they have this big fucking board of like it's like 500 dots or something like that. They've got to sort of like mark off, like they're marking sort of different circumstances that dictate that like, okay, we're pretty much right to preemptively strike the West because we are now fucking convinced that they're about to do it to us.
Right.
And it got down to a couple of fucking more dots, right, over the period of these 3 days. That's how fucking convincing this little radio exercise was. And it was getting to the point where they were about shitting bricks. They were like dialing up missiles, they were fueling fucking rockets and all this kind of shit. And then all of a sudden it was like, rightio, end exercise, and then nothing. And then the Russians were like, what the fuck just happened there? Fucking, like, they'd just been left none the fucking wiser for a bit. And they inquired about it, and then they were told, oh shit, sorry, yeah, that was an exercise. No, there's no tanks and shit. Yeah, go fly a fucking plane overhead. Yeah, no, we'll let you do it. Yeah, feel free. There's nothing there. Yeah, go for it. Have a look.
Yeah.
There's just a few dudes and a couple of jeeps. So yeah, we were very fucking close to being, you know, accidentally fucking nuked by the Russians because we didn't fucking tell them something. But like what saved us a couple of weeks ago was the back channels, and back channels are still open, and these are like sort of contacts through various intelligence services and stuff like that that can get to certain politicians and certain aides to politicians and stuff like that and actually get like what's actually going on. So during the Cuban Missile Crisis, they had one of the back channels in the Kremlin who was able to dictate to the White House exactly what the reaction was in the room at the time of certain event. And the White House was using that as sort of references to what the intentions of the Russians were really saying. And it turned out to be quite accurate in all this, and that helped save the situation from, you know, getting out of control. Now, 2 weeks ago, Keir Starmer rocks up with a big red box full of fucking documents, getting ready to sign it, like getting ready for Biden to sign it, and that was going to allow Zelensky to shoot these missiles into Russia with NATO fucking assistance. But in the meantime, while fucking Kerr was in the air, the back channels had started fucking talking to each other because Putin had threatened that fucking, yeah, that's going to escalate shit because we're going to now fucking see that as NATO involvement. The back channels had, you know, said to the White House, hey, what's your attitude? And they go, we think you're joking. And they go, no, fucking, we're not. Fucking tell the dumb cunts we are fucking not joking.
Right.
So by the time Keir Starmer had landed, that convinced Biden that he has to change his fucking mind. And when he walked out, apparently he was visibly pissed off when he came to greet Kerr at the airport or wherever, and fucking because he basically been told he can't do what he wanted to.
Right. Yeah,
So that's how actions work.
Yeah. I don't know. I think everyone should be aware that, it's on the horizon, that hellfire is coming. And if you want to be safe, move to Australia.
No. I suggest you stay in the Northern Hemisphere. It'd be far fucking quicker that way. You guys have got the easy way out of only a split second of being vaporized. We've got the long, slow fucking death of radiation poisoning that we won't be able to stop.
That's assuming the trade winds don't pick it up. Or that's assuming the trade winds pick it up.
No, it eventually gets down here.
You think so?
Yeah, it does. They reckon if everyone nuked the Northern Hemisphere, it'd take about 2 weeks for it to get down here to the point where people start getting radiation poisoning.
Oh.
Within about a year or two, we'll be all dead.
Oh, okay. So humanity over party. Let's go. Let's do it. There's news. Do you want to hear some news?
Yeah.
This is hot off the press. Sean Combs' lawyer says that Puffy had a lot of baby oil because he buys it in bulk from Costco.
Yeah, I saw that one too. What a fucking bullshit excuse that was.
That's like the poorest defense I've ever heard, Your Honor. We moved to strike the baby oil from evidence. He clearly goes to Costco.
I want receipts. You can't handle the receipts.
Yes, I bought 50,000 pallets of fucking baby oil. What does a grown man with no children need baby oil for?
I didn't have like fucking 7 or 8 bloody kids or some shit like that.
Yeah, but they don't live with
they're
him.
Not babies.
They don't live with him.
Yeah, no, they're not babies either. They're like teens and early 20s or some shit.
Well, yeah, even still, none of his kids ever lived with him. He was always like, he just fuck him and dump him.
It would have been a better excuse if he'd fucking said, like, oh, look at how many kids he's got. He went and fucking, after like the third one, decided he'd go to Costco and buy like a fucking 10-year supply of the shit, and this is all that's what's left. It was a really great deal. That would have been a better fucking excuse.
I'm stocking up for COVID too. Why not just use that? Why not just use that fucking thing as a fucking defense? You may as well, right? Like, COVID 2 is on the way, sir. I know this because I'm an industry insider, and I'm just stocking up for fucking. And it would have helped his defense if he walked in wearing a fucking tinfoil hat.
Oh, here's a groaner for you. Fucking COVID 2 electric boog afu.
Oh my god.
Bro.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I just fucking died. Thank you, Farty. You don't fucking listen, sir. You fucking stopped me from enjoying the fucking searing pain of being my fucking flesh being melted off of my fucking skeleton when the nukes drop in a couple months here.
It was funny, I actually replied to a meme on YouTube today where fucking someone had said in 6 months, or was it 60 days or something like 6 weeks or some shit, it was, we were going to make the decision on whether we can afford groceries or World War III, and I had to, fucking give them the bad news. It's like, no, that happens like on a momentary basis at this point in time. Our lives could end in like the same way as the fucking Sopranos mid-10.
Yeah. I'm all for that ending, to be honest with you.
Mm. But then again, we get nuked first, if that's the case. Because we're a day ahead of you.
Right. You're living in the future, so nukes must go to upside down land first.
Yeah, so at least you guys get warning.
Farty, is it okay to say fuck you this time?
Into that.
Oh my god.
Fucking.
We're laughing because we don't care anymore. I'm actually kind of looking for, like, I'm gonna lie, or not gonna. Oh my god, dude, I can't even fucking speak English today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm legitimately low key kind of looking forward to fucking the end of the world in a couple of months here.
Well, you see, like around here, everybody else is fucked because you know how I collect militaria.
Uh huh.
I got 2 full MBC suits.
Oh shit.
Well,
Well, Farty's gonna be safe for a while. He's gonna go out. You're gonna be that psychopath with a stick you pulled off of a fucking dead tree, running around poking people whose skin is melting. Like, have you ever seen the movie Barefoot Gen?
no.
It's a story. It's a Japanese anime movie that takes place after World War II, after we bomb the shit out of fucking Japan. And I think it takes place in Hiroshima, and this kid his name is Gen. He loses everything and everyone around him, and like he eventually develops, radiation poisoning and dies, but like he watches his brother just melt in front of him. And I bet Farty's gonna be that asshole, running around with the stick, with the tree branch, going hee hee hee, and poking people while their fucking flesh is melting off of them, and they're screaming in agony from it, and he's going poke poke hee.
Well, that's going to be something I'm going to do from now on. You've given me the idea. But there's always been one thing that, like, I've always had this fantasy about, like, waking up in the morning and finding that I'm, like, the last person on the fucking planet. Like, everyone just blipped out of fucking existence. But, like, everything's still there. Everything's still open. Like, the
Yeah.
lights are all on, that kind of shit. And, like, I can just fucking just go anywhere I fucking want, do anything I want and all this. But, and people are like, wouldn't you get bored? And I'm like, no. Because fucking, like, there's an
Beating
NRL
off.
football team, eh?
Is it? Why would I be bored? I can beat off in the middle of downtown Sydney without anyone saying anything to me.
Yeah, why would I be bored? I can go into your place and bat off to your daughter's photo. Anyway, no, fucking, there's an NRL football team in Sydney called the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and they, like, years and years and years ago, they basically got kicked out of the league because, like, they hadn't won a grand final in like 60 fucking years, and like basically couldn't win anything better than the wooden spoon, which is the last place on the leaderboard.
Right.
And like a whole bunch of other teams got fucking kicked out as well. But the South Sydney fans all kicked up a massive fucking stink, and with the help of Russell Crowe and another fella called fucking Andrew Denton, they fucking end up getting the team back. And since then, every time some fucking idiot did something stupid in front of me when I was in the truck, right, had a fucking Rabbitoh sticker in the back window. And so, like, one thing I'd do is I'd get guns and stuff like that, and every time I saw a Rabbitoh sticker, I'd actually fucking, like, it's rabbit season, and blast out the fucking window.
It's rabbit season.
Kind of
Duck
used to
season.
have this, kind of used to have this as a little game when I told Chris, when in the last truck that I was driving in First Fleet, my old offsider, I was saying, told him about it, and so he'd be sitting there and, like, he'd just go, oh, it's rabbit season. And he'd fucking, like, car next to us, and he'd pretend to shoot out their back window. And every time we'd see the sticker or even on a billboard or something like that. It was funny one day, we're coming down, you see this billboard, and he just starts fucking pretending he's, like, on a fucking, like, bloody tripod mounted 50 gauge, just sitting there with his feet up on the fucking dashboard.
Yeah.
Mate, yeah. We had a lot of time on our hands in the truck.
Yeah, I can tell.
Quite a bit of fucking fun too.
Oh God, why is the Pope trending?
I don't know. Did he finally pull out of the kids?
The Pope being told what to do and where to go by his Jew. Oh, okay, I can't say that. I was about to fucking say it. Pope Francis says if you have not been to confession for a while, get there right away. Huh. Gee. Yeah, World War III is coming. If the Pope is saying go fucking confess your sins, World War III is literally, tomorrow.
Fucking, have you ever heard about a reverse exorcism?
Is that where they cram the priest into you?
No. That's when the devil comes up and tells the priest to get out of the child.
Oh my god. Well, for the second time in less than an hour, you've killed me, Farty.
Fucking, yeah. Well, fucking, isn't there like a prophecy that was like the last fucking pope was supposed to be the last one before the end of the world or some shit?
Yeah.
So there we got one extra.
No. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the pope before this one, and then this one, and the next pope is supposed to actually be like an agent of the Antichrist. Yeah. So once this pope dies, and a new pope gets appointed, that new pope is supposed to be an agent of the Antichrist. And it said that the pope before the agent of the Antichrist is supposed to be, and this is just religious theory. I don't actually believe in this shit myself. I just want to point that out there. But this is just what the theory is, that the pope prior to the agent of the Antichrist is supposed to help pave the way. Like, he's supposed to help lay the groundwork and the foundation that the agent of the Antichrist Pope is going to use.
Oh dear, I think we've already had that one because the last one before this one.
That's the one we're working on. No, that's the one we're working on right now.
No, the last one before this one was that fucking used to work with the Nazis.
Yes.
There's your agent of the Antichrist. So we're in the pave the way fucking stage at the moment.
We're in the pave the way. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that this, according to religious theory, the current sitting pope is supposed to be the pope that like sets everything up for the Antichrist agent to do whatever he's gonna do.
Oh, well, no, in that case, we've already had the Antichrist agent. We never saw it coming. We're in fucking bloody
so we're all dead now.
Oh, yeah. We've been dead the whole time.
Okay.
Fuck. Yeah, we've already fucked, just never knew it.
I didn't realize that we were living in the series finale of Lost. Fuck.
Yep. What a fucking letdown.
God. Well, that's more disappointing than, I don't know what's more disappointing than that. Getting off but not having an orgasm?
You know why they call him Pope Benedict?
Oh, Christ, why?
Because he comes with a hollandaise sauce. Wait a minute.
God, Farty. You know what? I'm done with you. I'm gonna play games on my phone now. You're fired. You can do the whole show by yourself now. You keep killing me, Farty. You keep fucking killing me.
Yeah. Fucking so yeah, the fucking wacko that tried to fucking shoot Trump recently.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering when we could get to that. I actually have a whole thing here for that. There's a whole video that I'm gonna show to everybody, and I just gotta fucking find it here. Hang on, where are we? Let's going on? What's that? Okay, never mind. Cat's up this stupid shit again. Cat. Wait, is that? No. All right, don't mind me. I'm just losing my fucking mind for no reason. Okay, I got a video clip. I'm gonna send it to you. Hang on, let me see if this works. Okay, so this is gonna fucking suck. It's gonna fucking eat all my bandwidth. This is gonna eat all my bandwidth. Present, share screen, share. We have a video for this, by the way, guys. I want you all to know. I'm just setting it up right now, even though I didn't fucking take the time to do it earlier. I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing here. Hang on. Hopefully. Okay. Here we go. And are you ready? Are we ready?
Yep.
Oh, great. It's loading. Wonderful.
A lot of people don't realize just how close Donald Trump was to losing his life, as look at the guy right there. That is him. He's at a Kamala Harris rally being busted. Now compare that to the footage of him being arrested after the assassination attempt. You can see he's likely wearing the same shirt. Not only the same guy, wearing the same article of clothing. There's not even plausible deniability here. They are getting kind of sloppy. This was
right here, the guy in the pink shirt.
Clearly an inside operation.
There it is. A fucking smoking gun if I ever saw one. The same dude, the same shirt, in the same arrest footage. And this is actual fucking proof that this guy was actually, these are all fucking Kamala Harris buses.
This guy not only was acting as a military operative for the CIA
Kamala
and other
Harris
powerful
buses.
groups, trying to recruit people to Ukraine, including people from multiple parts of the Middle East, recruiting soldiers at a high level, getting their phone numbers, getting them to come and fight as mercenaries for Ukraine. Ask yourself why an American with no ties to Ukraine would be going there and recruiting fighters, including from places like the Middle East. Does that make any sense at all to you? Unless, of course, this guy is a deep state operative who's working with the CIA in coordination with top levels of the United States government to try to carry out this massive military to sneak onto the course with almost no recourse. There were no drones in the air, which, by the way, there were no drones in the air, which, by the way, this guy had been able to sneak onto the course with almost no recourse.
There it is. The fucking...
It's likely if he had... This one was as close as you can get with... Trump would not be with us right now. Trump was only a matter of holes away.
You see how he's like trying to cornholio himself so that the camera doesn't see him?
Wait, this guy had been able to sneak
out of his face
to the course with almost...
They actually told him to do that. No, I think they actually told him to do that to fucking... there's a bit of a thing of make it more difficult for him to fucking move around and shit like that, but also to expose that, like, he's got nothing in his waistband or,
well, yeah,
anything like that.
But it's still also, like, the secondary effect is, like, obfuscation. Like, from the cameras and shit. Because, like, I have seen people, just do it on their own accord, so that they're not being recorded. Yeah. And this definitely seems like an obfuscation move here. And the fact that he's wearing the same fucking clothes. Oh, come on.
So where was the previous bit of footage taken where he was getting off the bus?
Say again?
How long ago? How long before like that where he was arrested, was the bus footage taken?
Oh, like 2 weeks, I think, was the time frame.
So it kind of changed his clothes in 2 weeks, a dirty fucker.
Say again?
So So the cunt hasn't changed his clothes in 2 weeks. The dirty.
Oh
fucker.
yeah. Like, fucking take a shower, bro. I say that. I ironically say that as someone who can't fucking, yeah, take a shower.
Fucking, I disagree with the video where it says that like it's a paid CIA soldier monkey fuck blah blah.
Right,
blah,
I disagree
blah,
with that as well because there's no evidence of that. But like, he's definitely a fucking Harris supporter if he's willingly
Oh, yeah.
letting himself be bussed around like that. And he's definitely on the left side of the aisle because we've seen him in fucking footage of like not being a Ukraine freedom fighter because they wouldn't take him for one reason or another, but like being a recruiter for Ukrainians and like sending younger guys over to Ukraine to fight in Ukraine's conflict. And I'm not calling it a war because it's not a war. It's a conflict. It's an armed conflict. Just like we had, and that's the thing, is like Desert Storm wasn't a war, it was an armed conflict. Vietnam was an armed conflict. Operation Enduring Freedom was an armed conflict. So I want people to realize that there's a difference between a fucking war and an armed conflict. Or a war is something that has been internationally declared. And since Russia didn't technically declare war, they just invaded. It's an armed conflict. I forgot where I was going with this, but
Well, fucking see. Look, from the outside looking in, it's very, very clear to me that it's just more a factor of fucking people who still want to vote Democrat at this point in time are very, very fucking stupid and very, very easily manipulated. And they're very, very fucking weird too. You just have a look at like the protests outside of Trump rallies and stuff like that. You've got normal fucking average everyday looking Americans standing in line patiently waiting to get into the Trump rally, and across the road you got all the colours of the fucking rainbow and hair coming out of everywhere and fucking sweaty fucking lesos and fucking punk ass fucking people dressed like fucking Rocky Horror and all this kind of fucking shit, screaming abuse and obscenities and all this kind of stuff.
yeah.
And then when that judge, and I said this back in the day before fucking Trump's first assassination, as my justification of why it was going to happen and how it was going to happen, was that there are enough of these fucking wacko, weirdo, easily manipulated fucking dumb fucks in the Democrat fucking supporting fucking mob that are absolutely led by the fucking nose of everything. Like, you know, even like, you know, say the Swifties that are still going to vote fucking Kamala Harris is like, you know, fucking Tay said so. Fucking,
yeah. And all because my vagina.
Yeah, that kind of shit too, and they just want to see a black woman as president because of the fucking novelty and all this kind of shit. We can't afford to fucking do that, and that's why, like, there's even a movement that's supported by a lot of women in America called the fucking Repeal the 19th, and like, so even women in a lot of cases are like, no, we shouldn't fucking vote because there's too many of us dumb cunts that do this kind of shit. We'll still vote for this. Voting for Kamala Harris again is akin to fucking Captain Smith on the Titanic.
The thing is
the
that
fuck over the iceberg to have another crack at it.
The thing is that the Repeal the 19th movement recognizes that women primarily, and I'm not saying this as I believe this, I'm just saying this as the points have been presented to me as an outsider looking in. So I want people to realize and understand that I am not saying repeal the 19th Amendment. I don't give a shit. I don't vote. I'm not a voter. I don't fucking care. What I have understood about the repeal the 19th Amendment, and this is kind of piggybacking on what Farty said, is that the repeal the 19th supporters are in favor of repealing the 19th because they recognize that women tend to vote and act more emotionally than logically.
Yeah, well, that's all you need to do is just look at most of the fucking Kamala Harris supporters. They've got zero fucking idea of, like, any of her policies or anything like that. And if you ask them, it is mainly because of, like, vagina, black vagina, first fucking black vagina, novelty of black vaginas and novelties of women's and power and all this kind of shit. And it's time, and it'd be just great to have that and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you do realise the world's turning to shit and we need someone to do something about it. Yeah, but in the meantime, we can have a black vagina, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's enough fucking weirdos in that fucking camp that when they said that it's okay for fucking the sitting president to fucking assassinate his opponent, and then they and I said to you, look, they're going to twist it around and all this kind of stuff and say that fucking, oh, Trump can do this, so we've got to get him first and all this kind of shit. And you looked at like The View, Nancy fucking Pelosi, fucking what's that silly bloody woman from fucking Detroit.
Yeah,
Sounds like
I'm just so
fucking
tired. Here's the thing. I'm tired of this hyper divisionism, and people are buying it. And the problem isn't with people buying it. It's with them being, and here's my problem. Here's my problem from the top to bottom, and people can agree with me, disagree or not. I view the world this way. In the United States, we do have something, and I'm not going to say all the way because I don't know what to the extent of, but we do have corporate-controlled politicians. We absolutely, if you don't think there's a single one in office right now that isn't being controlled by some corporate interest, or at least being influenced by a corporate interest, then you are sorely mistaken. And I know, Farty, you may not agree with what I'm about to say here, and that's okay because we're still buddies after this. But there's at least a handful of politicians that, and these guys are lawmakers, by the way. Politicians, they create policy, which is why we have police, to make sure the policies are followed. And I want everyone to realize this. But these corporate interests, right, have their fucking... Why else would we have lobbyists, right? Why else would we have lobbyists if we didn't have corporate interests fucking manipulating Washington? And this was a big issue in the 90s. People were like, this is an issue. We need to fucking stem this. And we didn't stem it. And now we're in a situation where we have these corporate interests who were fucking controlling everything. And we have these corporate fucking political pawns who are using their politicians and their corporate fucking speak to get these weirdos to fucking fall in line with their corporate speak and their corporate way of doing things and their corporate way of give up all your fucking human rights and give us all your fucking money so that we hold fucking power over you. Bullshit. That's what's been happening. And now...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Farty. I'm sorry.
No, we'll get just sort of getting back to my point kind of thing. But there's enough weirdos out there, and there was enough going around from enough parts of the media, and it wasn't just like, you know, the View and fucking Nancy Pelosi, like, you know, Harry Piston and stuff like that. He actually even put out a fucking tweet going, "Yeah, it's okay for us to assassinate Trump now," and you can see there's enough mentally unstable fucking weirdo fucking dumb cunts who are easily manipulated to the point where they're being convinced that, like, oh, well, someone needs to take one for the team and it may as well be me. I bet you $10, even Potato might even fucking exonerate me for doing him a solid, you know, fucking won't spend any time in jail kind of thing. And having a look at it now, you know, that's, you know, what's looking like what's happening. You're getting these fucking really stupid looking far left weirdos like this bloke coming out the fucking woodwork who's, you know, trying to convince cunts to go off to a losing battle fighting for Nazis in Ukraine. He's also got this fucking weird idea of starting a tent city fucking for people volunteering to defend the island of Taiwan against Japan, which fucking is not quite clear on. That's one where if you're supposed to bring your own tool later.
Isn't Taiwan trying to break away from China? Like, or well, that's Tibet. That's Tibet. My bad.
No. Well, Taiwan's independent from China at the moment. They're their own country, the People's Democratic Republic of China, whereas the Chinese, the People's Republic of China.
Okay.
But the Hunan.
That's all, folks.
I think it was Hunan, but don't fucking no, it's not.
I sidetracked
But,
you, but anyway.
But anyway, like no, with Taiwan, right? You guys are being told they want to stay independent when there is actually, in fact, a fucking a movement where they're sort of like, well, this is a losing cause. China's way too big. We're eventually going to have to fucking unify with them. We may as well do it voluntarily and hope the fuck they don't crucify us for it. And there was talk that, like, in a couple of presidents, they might just end up fucking going to China anyways, regardless of what America wants. But America's just trying to fight to keep them on our side.
More bodies against the Reds.
Yeah. So like this guy's clearly a fucking weirdo, and he's like the rifle that he was using was an SKS that had been modified to have a 30-round magazine, which is just fucking makes the guns usually fucking very, very unreliable.
Makes them jam a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then, like, it had the most bubbled fucking stock you'd ever seen. It came from a company I've never fucking heard of called Combat Exchange.
Oh, that's definitely a Chinese shell company.
Oh, yeah, and it looked the just shittiest, unmanicured fucking polymer you'd ever fucking seen. Looked like it was rough as fucking guts. But the piece de resistance is that fucking he had the scope fucking hose clamped and electrical taped to the rifle, so there was probably no chance he was gonna
I'm sure that's going to be super accurate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bloody, it would never hold zero for a start, and even if you zeroed it in, first time you fucking fired it, it'd probably be inaccurate as shit anyway, because you'd knocked it around on the way there. With that, there's the idea going around that the FBI releasing the document that fucking that he wrote is partially suspect and sinister too, because they released what was in it, and basically what was in it was he apologizes for fucking missing and then calls on, gives a reward to somebody else to take up his place, which is a fucking negligent thing to do, and I reckon anyway. Because you don't want to actually advertise that kind of fucking shit, because cunts will get ideas. I mean, look at what's already happened anyways, and two cunts have tried doing it for free.
In less than a month.
Yeah, and they were doing it for free.
What was it, two attempts in 2 weeks, I think it was?
No, it's 2 months, isn't it?
Was it 2 months? Well, still, it was like 2 for 2. That's all I remember, is 2 for 2.
Yeah. So yeah, and then like, sort of it's a little bit unambiguous about like, that he wasn't really the CIA monkey. He was more the fucking weirdo lunatic that fucking is easily manipulated, because even his son comes out and says, oh yeah, no, he really fucking hates him. He's got a blog where he just shits all over Trump all day, and fucking he's a fucking massive weirdo. In fact, yeah, the whole fucking family are exactly the same. We're all fucking weirdos and all this kind of shit. So I don't really think it's some MK Ultra nonsense bullshit, because they're already fucked in the head without the LSD.
Yeah, that is a point. That is a point to be made of all time.
But you also notice too, as an outsider looking in, what is very, very apparent is not just the weirdos in the Democrat Party, is that they're also the ones that are quite fine in calling to kill their political opponent, and that he must die, he is evil, we must do something about him, and this, that, and the other thing. Whereas the Republicans that aren't doing that, they're the ones with the guns, but they're the ones who are patiently waiting for the system to work in their favor.
1930s Germany is starting to fucking repeat itself again, isn't it? Only here in the States.
Oh, yeah, that's been happening for a good long while, and it's actually a bit of a toss-up between whether it's 1914 or 1939, because the similarities between both are there. The similarities of 1939 are apparent in varying different forms in varying different parts of the world at this point in time, where you're trying to be isolationist and fucking you're having some fucking still financial strife after with financial depression, which is sort of like, if you have a look at it, right, when he's had the depression in the 20s, and then in 1939 there was World War II. So you've had a fucking financial recession in 2008, and now we're a similar fucking way down the track.
Yeah.
So Nazism has crept up. You've got now people who would typically not fucking get involved now fucking supporting terrorists in Palestine. Fucking support for Israel and fucking Jews are fucking waning like crazy. And in fact, we're now fucking making out that they're the fucking devil and we should probably go and invade them because of war crimes and shit like that. And they're going a bit fucking crazy. There's a lot of other destabilization, you know, there's like problems in Eastern Europe and all this kind of shit. But where it's in 1914, it's more the factor of fucking every cunt was at each other's throat. This didn't happen in 1939 because everyone was too still fucking knocked out from fucking the First World War. But what was a major catalyst that led up to the breakout of conflicts and hostilities and shit was the fact that fucking everybody in Europe was at each other's throat. It just took one fucking instance, which was bloody fucking Princip to shoot fucking Archduke Ferdinand. That was the thing that fucking set it off. But up until that point, every cunt was not getting along. And you have a look at the EU. There's people wanting to try and split from the EU. EU's at loggerheads with the Brits. Fucking, they're even having fucking fish wars with fucking Norway again. Bloody, everyone's up and up. Yeah. That's a thing. Has been a thing for decades.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up later. I want more context on that, but I just wanted to make sure the word you said was fish wars.
Yeah, basically it is fisheries wars. It's like around fucking Greenland or something like that. Where it's just contested islands and who owns the territorial waters. The Brits reckon they own it, and the Norway reckons they own it, and they've actually had like fucking naval confrontations over it and everything over the years. And yeah.
Isn't there a treaty though that's like, hey, you know, you can own it for this amount of time and
yeah, like they usually have to do that by fucking at the end of the fucking, you know, at the end of a frigate kind of thing. But then like, you know, people encroach and shit like that, and then they start having arguments, and then, you know, push comes to shove, and then the Navy comes out again, and they'll make another agreement, and, you know, fucking But anyway, bloody, so like, yeah, we've got problems with Eastern Europe, like supporting fucking Ukraine and who's funding that. And then there's like Greece and Italy are defaulting on lots of loans that the EU have given them, which is causing a lot more financial distress. There's migrant issues, people fleeing conflict with other countries and stuff like that. Then it's only going to take one thing, which we're looking at right now with Ukraine and stupidity with Vladimir Zelensky being a catalyst for everything to fucking kick off.
Please tell me that there are instances in war where someone shoves a grenade into a dead, you know, serviceman's mouth and fucking blows their head to bits. Leaves their dog tag there and just fucking scurries off.
Dead people, they used to do those in execution method.
No, I'm just saying like a living serviceman sees one of his fucking troop mates, right? Dead. And he's like, shit, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to desert. I don't give a flying rat's ass. And so he desecrates his buddy's body, leaves his dog tag there. They can't track that the body is in fact him unless they did some genetic testing, which is why the dog tags are a thing, because it's just easy identification, right? So unless they do genetic testing, they're not going to fucking find out. Why would they spend the money to do the genetic testing? They don't fucking care. They just, hey, your husband was killed. And then he goes and fucks off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's ever happened. I mean, it must have happened at least once, right? Like, if I'm thinking about it, it's had to have, like, crossed someone's mind.
Well, it most likely has happened, and I'd suggest that it could have happened quite a lot in World War II World War One, because you have things like the Battle of the Somme, right, where entire units just got fucking completely wiped out, and there are circumstances there where bodies couldn't be recovered from the battlefield for several days, and in the meantime, the entire area is just constantly being fucking shelled to bejesus. So literally, people were like completely atomized and obliterated.
Right. Yeah, because of all the mortar and shit.
You have to get the right grain of dust to be the bone that, to get the DNA from, kind of thing.
Right.
So there definitely was cases of people deserting and all this kind of shit. And I'd suggest that there probably would have been a couple of cases of cowardice where they didn't, in fact, jump the parapet, and they weren't shot and then atomized and all this, and had managed to escape the front somehow, and then just taken up a new life, knowing that fucking everyone just thought he got obliterated.
Or like entire platoons just fucking up and leaving the battlefield because of the shelling, and just fucking disappearing into nothingness.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. Like, I mean, I can imagine it, but at the same time, I can't imagine it. Like an entire platoon just fucking, nope, we're done. We're ghost. Let's fucking go. CO is like, don't pack it up. Just fucking go. Leave everything and just fucking go. Let them fucking have the trench.
Well, this is in fact what's actually happening in Ukraine at the moment. There's been a lot of Russian movement that's been, in a lot of cases, the fact that fucking the Russians have pulled up on empty positions, and it turns out that, like, Ukrainian reinforcements have shown up, seen the condition of the positions they were supposed to take up, went, nah, fuck this, and they just walked off.
Right.
There's been
crazy to me, dude.
Well, as of about a year and a half ago, there was an estimated 200,000 Ukrainians or people serving in Ukraine, like either volunteers from internationals or fucking conscripts or whatever, that had simply disappeared. They couldn't account for them. They don't know what happened to them. So it's one of three things. They're either, POWs are missing on the battlefield somewhere, completely atomized, and there's nothing left of them, or they've fucking surrendered or, made their way to the Polish border and fucking hopefully fucked off, which was like pretty much the only thing that was going to save their lives. But the fact that they just couldn't account for 200,000 people and, all this kind of stuff. But mind you, right, because of potato, those 200,000 people you're still paying for because the Yanks are paying the salary of the Ukrainian military. And, like, there was, at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure it still is now, there's various ways that people can surrender to each other. And the whole time I've been on the position of, if you're a Ukrainian soldier, your better option is to try and surrender to the Russians, because the Russians are actually treating their POWs nicely. And there's a point to that. If you treat your POWs nicely, and say in prisoner exchanges, you gets back to them and say, it's actually not that bad being a POW, while you're sitting in this trench being fucking expected to sit here and die, regardless of whether you want to be here or not, whether you can retreat or not. There's no tactical fucking advantage to being here. There's no tactical point of being here. This isn't a strategic stronghold. We're basically just being fucking left here to die. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about us. They're not going to reinforce us. They're not going to evacuate us. And if we do get fucking hurt, we're just going to fucking bleed out anyways, because there's no medevac. Fucking, we may as well go and fucking surrender to the Russians, because at least we'll fucking, we won't be dead. And, they get, warm beds, new, clean clothes and fucking fed well and all this, and generally not very badly mistreated. And a lot of occasions I've heard, people talk about, they made us listen to the Russian anthem over and over again. It's like, don't suck, bitch. So it's most advantage that they were going to surrender to the Russians, because at least the war would be over for them. Fucking and there was radio channels that the pamphlets being left behind and stuff like that, so that if Ukrainian soldiers look it over, they can see the pamphlets. Like, if you want to surrender, go to this radio channel, say you want to do this, and we'll arrange a spot for us to pick you up. And there are actual full platoons and stuff like that at the beginning that were trying to do that, but the Azov battalions were monitoring the communication, and in some cases it actually happened that the Russians are on one side of the field and the Ukrainians are on another side of the field, and as the Ukrainians were getting up to move over to the Russians to surrender, the fucking bunch of fucking bloody MRAPs and fucking Bushmasters rocked up from the Azov battalions with machine guns on the fucking roof, and they just fucking mowed them all down in the field.
Yeah.
For trying to surrender. So you got instances like that.
So here's a question for you, Farty. Do you think it would be a good idea to just say fuck it and move to Russia right now?
Don't know, really.
Well,
I mean,
because what's his name is making this big stink that he's trying to accept people from other parts of the world, because the left wing bullshit is just running rampant in the West, and come to Russia and you can be free of that.
Well, I suggest I'd probably be able to go to Russia and be relatively like, because they quite possibly would still be the fair bit of suspicion from foreigners and stuff like that, like it being foreign agents and shit.
Right.
So, like where I say I probably would be fine is that like I've publicly supported by Putin on quite a regular basis. I've actually kept an eye on his presidency over the years, and I've seen him do quite a lot of really responsible, impressive things. And I consider him that he's not so much a politician; he's more of like a true old school statesman. And I say the same thing with Trump, because the difference in politicians and statesmen is that they can conduct themselves with things other than politics. Like they can conduct themselves with royalty, or they can conduct themselves in massive financial deals for the country's sake.
Right.
And that's where Trump tells with the financial deals and the negotiations and how to deal with people. And he was even capable, when he met the Queen, to be extremely respectable, and to the point that she quite liked his presence. And Trump did that with basically his amount of knowledge, and he could compare his knowledge to like the American history in conjunction with the British history and all this. And they had a fucking massive tin wagon, like they're going through like this Hall of Records, and she's showing him all this historical artifacts, and he knew his thing, and he could relate information to it and all this, and she was very, very impressed on that.
Right.
And that's where can be a statesman as well as politician.
Right.
But Putin just is a statesman first. And you could see that where fucking when the Queen died, that Britain is now hip deep in this shit with Ukraine, so effectively it's enemies at this point in time. And Putin could just say nothing. He could be nasty or facetious about it, but he chose to do the gentlemanly, proper thing to do as a statesman and a proper fucking gentleman, that he actually met the Queen and they actually did have a relationship and all this kind of stuff. So it could be a genuine fucking source of, the affection and whatnot.
Right.
But he did a whole very respectable fucking, we feel sorry for the passing of Her Majesty Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II. We feel deep sorrow, and we hold deep consolation to the British people and in their time of need. Or something. It was a really, really lovely message that he wrote for it, where he didn't have to his now current enemy, effectively.
Right. Yeah.
So, like,
just
talking
because
about
you're
like
enemies doesn't mean you have to stop being civil, right?
No,
just
no,
because
no.
you're enemy, you can be civil with your enemy. In fact, being civil with your enemy is what leads to cooperation and partnerships in the end.
But there's also other things too that I've seen him do. Like there was one story I saw of this young lad, and it was a kind of co-carer kind of thing. Like his grandmother was his legal guardian, but he was effectively her carer. And some mob had come along and separated, put him in an orphanage, and left her by herself.
Right.
And there was actually this thing where Putin was walking in public, and he's got his entourage, and there's crowds and shit like that. And the kid comes out of the crowd and comes up to him, and you see like Putin look down, and the kid quickly explains like, I need to get back to my grandmother, and they've got me in the and Putin's just like, oh, hang on, looks up, grabs an aid, and goes, yeah, you talk to him, you do what he wants, kind of thing. And like within a couple of weeks, he was back with his grandmother, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
now we're not saying
Putin,
that Putin is entirely a good guy, because morality is subjective. I believe sometimes morality is subjective. And he's doing what he feels is right for his country. Whether or not we believe that to be the truth, that's, again, a matter of subjective opinion.
No, it's not subjective opinion. That's, in fact, exactly what he has been doing. There's no ambiguity or anything on that. It's just a right or wrong answer, and the correct answer is that's, in fact, all he is trying to do. He's just trying to keep Russia and like build it up so as it is something that's like decent for his own people and stuff like that, which is what any responsible leader should be doing. But I've also seen him at like another thing where he was at the Make-A-Wish thing, and like as he was watching this video, right, he was actually fucking tearing up. So like, how many fucking monsters?
I should rephrase: whether or not we agree with what he's doing is a different matter.
Well, that's kind of your stiff shit there too, because it's simply just a different case of it's not your country.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to agree with it because we don't live there, and it's like,
It's not your opinion.
yeah, it's like I tell other people, like I tell people who don't live in the United States, dude, you don't get a fucking say if you don't live in the United States. You don't get a say on how we operate our country within. Like you can have an opinion on it, but you don't get a fucking say.
Well, kind of, yes, we do. And I did threaten this fucking almost 8 years ago that, like, yeah, while you guys get to choose the person that, goes into power, relatively speaking, I know that hasn't been the case the last time around, but that was supposed to be the idea, right? Fucking, you guys get the choice, right? And you guys have the right to tell us all to go get fucked. But what you also need to realise, and what I was asking was, you take the fucking consideration into account that what you guys do over there does affect the rest of the world. And that there is, in fact, a way that we can fucking punish you. And that is, if we don't want to work with you, we simply fucking won't.
Well, right,
If we don't like the bloke you voted in, we simply won't work with you. And that's what's happening now with BRICS. Like, that threat's now coming into fruition.
No, yeah, I agree with you on that. I personally don't believe that, like, yeah, you can have an input, you can have a say, you can have an opinion, but, like, I don't think anybody gets a say on what goes on in another country. Like, it's not for me to go like, hey, Farty, I think your prime minister, is best suited sitting on eggs all fucking day and trying to jam a dildo down his dick hole.
Yeah.
That's not for me to say.
Well, it kind of was a case of, we were telling you not to do it for your own fucking good at the beginning, but then you went ahead and did it, and then we were trying to tell you to fucking get rid of it because you couldn't afford to go through this. Now we're all of a case of, don't fucking do it again because, like, if you're still that fucking stupid, we need to fucking tell you. Like, we're going to fucking have to tell you. And it's not so much a case of we're dictating to you what you should and shouldn't do. It's more a case of, like, guys, you are so fucking going the wrong way, and it doesn't fucking help that the MSM, all that shit, are blinding you to a lot of all of these facts. Like, how many things have I told you going on in your own country you had no fucking idea about because the news isn't telling you?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, Farty. I'm just my thought process is, yeah, okay, you warn us, you be the guy on the fucking, on the, holding the flags going, hey, don't fucking park there, that's where a train goes through. And if you park there, the train is gonna fucking just turn your car into a fucking soda can on a fence post.
The Democrats will still park there and go, well, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But that's also, like, with the rest of the world and all this kind of stuff, like, fucking, it is also getting to a point where there are so many countries that have jumped ship, and like the Chinese and the Russians and stuff are now being seen as such a responsible entity, and there's so much fucking shit going on in America that, like, a lot of countries are just going to fucking ignore his existence from now on.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Where the UN has become a joke. I think NATO has become a joke as well.
No, it has.
And I think we're just seeing other countries go, you know what? We can't look to the United States anymore for guidance. We have to stand on our own. And for one, I'm fine with that. I am 100% fine with that. I am 100% fine with us going, oh, no one needs us. Cool. We can stop fucking sending money all over the world where it doesn't need to be fucking going. Like, I heard they sent, like, $300 million or some shit to something in fucking Timbuktu fucking God knows where to see if fucking motorcycle helmets were a good idea for motorcyclists in another fucking country, to conduct a study. $300 million to conduct a fucking study in another fucking country where fucking motorcycle helmets might be a good idea. But if you think they're a good idea, then they're probably a good fucking idea. Did you need to fucking piss away $300 million of taxpayer money to fucking figure that out?
Well, fucking getting back to
sorry.
the
I got on a tangent. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, getting back to things I've seen with Putin, right? There's also other instances, like, where you can see that he is actually just trying to fucking get things running and, like, do the responsible thing. There was one petrol company in Russia, and they had a fucking big diesel spill.
Right.
And this diesel spill went into a river that led into a fucking like a natural reserve area.
Right.
And the problem was that the monkeys tried to cover it up. They didn't really do anything, and like Putin's got in place there where all these guys have to do is make one fucking phone call, and like, you know, just like in America with FEMA and shit, resources come out like fucking woodwork to go and sort the problem out.
Right. Right.
But because this guy said fucking nothing, and Putin in like actual discussion with this guy, like the guy tried fucking bullshitting him, and Putin's like, no, you knew that you could get all the resources. All you need to do was just ask. You know, you fucked around and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not taking your bullshit.
Did he
And
have him killed?
whereas in
I heard he had
America
him
it'd be
killed.
just like, I don't know about killed, but yeah, gulag. But like, you know, in America where it'd be like decades longs of fucking hearings and shit where nothing will get done, Putin will actually fucking stick on it right then and there. And even to the point where like individual fucking Russians, he'll stand up for him personally. He got a letter from this factory, I can't remember exactly where, but like the bloke who was appointed to run the factory is fucking basically ripping off all his workers. And of course, he's had another one of these discussions with this guy who tried to bullshit him completely. And it's like, you don't bullshit Putin. Like, he can't bullshit him. Because he saw right fucking through it. And then, like, he's like, nah, right, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to come back in 6 months and this shit better be fucking fixed. And of course, like, well, he came back in 6 months and it was all fixed. And it was like, just like, you know, all the workers were praising him and all this shit, lots of hugs and shit. So he's, in fact, really popular. And, like, you guys get told, like, oh, the election was all fucking rigged and shit like that. No. The Russians actually like Putin. And this is part and parcel to the difference of the political systems. Me and you, we're buggered by this whole fucking term limits nonsense.
Right.
Now, this might sound like it's getting into dictatorial kind of nonsense, but we still have like proper and fair elections that could supersede this.
Right.
Whereas you guys can only have people running 2 terms. We have the thing where we can have a prime minister run as many times as they want. So we can have like a guy running 6 or 7 fucking terms if he wanted to. That's just if we keep voting the bloke in. Whereas your guys are bordering on the whole fucking dictatorship thing as it is. So I don't think that part of it's good for you guys. But where this is good for Russia, and this is where Russia really needed it, and this is why I say it's absolutely what Putin's trying to do, because when he took over from Yeltsin was too busy being a corrupt fucker, and as long as you stuck a fucking bottle of vodka under his fucking head, he doesn't give a fuck what happens, right? So nothing was getting done. Oligarchs and corruption and shit were running around like crazy. Putin put a stop to all of that, started nationalising a whole bunch of stuff and putting the currency back through the country instead of into cunts' pockets, into corrupt cunts' pockets. And that's what he's been doing the whole time. And the reason why he's been there the whole time is because all the Russians, they know his plan. They know his plan is decades long. And that's exactly what's going to have to happen to get Russia on its feet and, you know, being the country that it's supposed to be, where everyone can be prosperous and all this kind of shit. And they're not going back to communism. Everyone's saying that, like, Putin wants to go back to fucking, you know, communist Russia and all this. No, he wants to go back to Tsarist Russia.
Yeah.
That's before fucking communism. That's St. Petersburg. That's the big gold-plated fucking buildings and the grandeur and, like, everyone's prosperous and all this kind of shit thing, right? Not the Nazi fucking USSR nonsense, right? And that's what he's been working on the whole time. And it's needed to take this long. And the Russians know that they need to keep him in because they need to keep him fucking working on his own thing. This is exactly what I was saying with Trump. Trump needed the full 8 years. He couldn't afford to have a break in the middle, which is what they did to try and fuck him up.
Like I said, even if he does get it, even if they do let him into office, let's rephrase. As I'm not gonna say even if he does win, because there are no winners and losers in fucking politics. It's all fucking planned out. It's a scripted. Politics for me has become a scripted fucking ballet.
Well, it is scripted in a ways where you see, like, just say again with Trump in his 8 years.
Right.
That pipeline, what was it called? The one that was going through the Indian joint.
Yeah,
Obama just done it for years and didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But anyway, yeah, that pipeline that Biden fucking stopped the moment he got into fucking power, which was 2 years away from completion, and it was going to be ready
day
right
one.
He
Literally walked in.
it.
Right, day one. He literally walked in. He goes, executive order time. Fuck the pipeline. Fuck these jobs.
Yeah.
Fuck the unions.
Yeah,
Fuck the car jobs.
But that was a 6 to 8 year program. That was not a 4-year program. That was never designed to last one term. This is where I said, like, Trump needed at least 2 terms to do what he needed to do. Like, that pipeline alone was going to be halfway through his second term when it was completed. So in the 2 years after that, you would have just been fucking saving money hand over fist from savings of oil prices and stuff. Like, you had massively cheap fuel instead of fucking, 3 times the fucking price it was when Trump was in. And that would have led to more economic prosperity because, as I mentioned to you in a previous show, fuel prices have everything to do with your inflation at the moment because your oil prices are so high. Everything from fucking growing plants to fucking tins in the supermarket to fucking driving up the road.
The fuel prices are part of it. The fuel prices are part of it. They're a large part of it.
Yeah, everything is on a truck at least once, right? And the fuel cost is transport from A to B always goes onto the end price.
Right.
So the more fuel cost goes, the more it costs to manufacture it, the more it costs to put it in a tin, the more it costs to get it to the shop, the more it's going to cost you at the end. So if you'd gone and done that pipeline thing, within 2 years, fuel would have been that fucking cheap. It would have been so cheap to manufacture shit.
Correct.
Like a lot more companies would have been coming back because the energy prices and the cost of living and stuff would have been so fucking insanely cheap. It would have been worse than fucking hanging around, and the tax breaks would have helped them fucking increase their businesses and increase their productivity, which would increase the employment. We made less fucking jobless people, more people with money in their pockets, and this is this trickle down fucking economics that fucking the Democrats fucking hate for some fucking reason because I guess it fucking works. That's blind.
The other contributing factor to high cost, especially in the United States, is that we have a minimum wage law, which actually somehow, and I don't know how it works in other countries, but it somehow incentivizes companies in the United States from trying to undercut the employees because, okay, well, we'll give you $12 an hour. National minimum wage is like $7.50 an hour. And everyone is asking for fucking $15 an hour for something. And part of the equation for why cost is a large part of it is the energy. But another contributing factor is the minimum wage, which and people don't realize that when you say mandate minimum wage by the fucking, by the fucking federal whatever, right? Have federal intervention. That's what I wanted to say. Have federal level intervention with the minimum wage stuff. What you do is you create a problem where the companies that pay out these salaries are incentivized to kind of cut back on how many people they employ. So then you get so then another problem becomes, well, homelessness, and another problem as a result of that becomes, well, the cost of goods goes up now because in addition to the energy prices rising, you are now handcuffed to having to pay a certain amount while still keeping your investors happy, while still keeping, the everything above the board. So there is that contributing factor. I'm not going to say that's everything, but it does play a role in it. And that's why I'm not saying you're wrong in the energy stuff, because you're absolutely right about the energy stuff. And like everything that gets transported needs energy to get transported somewhere. And that is definitely
that's a major aspect of it. There's many more to go. Like there's many more that go with it, but that's one major aspect. Like in the pie chart, like fucking almost half of it.
Right, and that's where, and I said, like I said, I agree with you entirely. That is a large part of it. Another large contributing factor is, in fact, the minimum wage stuff. I guess I should be trying to state that I'm trying to add more flavor for context. Is what I'm trying to what I'm trying to get across here, is that there's more going on, and that I hate. Yeah.
Okay, with the minimum wage thing, we do have what's called award wage, which is a minimum wage in Australia. And say back when I was driving trucks, an award wage for the level of driver that I was $23 an hour.
Damn.
But by the end of it, I was driving a smaller truck for fucking trailer rate, so I was getting like $28 or something like that an hour, and that was we're talking fucking 15 years ago now. But for food workers and stuff like that, it's an all right wage, and it's usually children, so it's like fucking teens and fucking young adults. So it's not like they're paying off mortgages or anything like that with working at Macca's or something like that.
Right.
What I don't think everyone takes into consideration, and this is coming as a former business owner myself, is that you might think lots and lots of money goes over the counter and all this kind of stuff.
It really doesn't.
So with Macca's, Macca's, like a Macca's, right, is mostly like they're all franchise owned. They're not owned by the McDonald's Corporation.
Right.
They have to follow a whole bunch of rules and stuff like that, and Macca's Corporation owns the property. You have to lease that, and you have to give them a massive percentage of earnings and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you pay for like the electricity in the place, and you wouldn't believe how much electricity a Macca's uses. Like they got fucking several things that run on.
Trust me, I know. I worked in the restaurant industry for fucking 15, almost 20 years. I know.
Oh well, how many fucking three-phase plugs did you see?
Huh?
How many three-phase plugs did you see?
Every fucking where. They got three-phase plugs for the clamshells, the clamshell grills, for the fryers. They got it for the fucking refrigeration units, for the freezer units, for the ice machines. They have it for literally everything.
Yeah. So then there's also other things that the franchise is forced to pay for, and in some cases it's the suppliers themselves, and certain cases it's packaging, and and other things like there's other aftermarket things like with Coca-Cola and fucking bloody. That's not just with Macca's. It's like with other types of restaurants and stuff like that.
That's ignoring the franchise license fee that they have to pay on a monthly fucking basis.
Yeah. And then they've got to pay everybody's wage on top of that. And if they
and then buying the franchise, you're not really buying, but you're like to be able to have a McDonald's franchise, because you don't actually own a McDonald's franchise. A lot of people think that when you franchise a restaurant that you're owning a franchise of that. No. You own a slip of paper that says legally you can use the name without being sued, and that fee because I looked it up because I was interested in it at one point in owning a franchise, not running it, but I wanted to own it. And the cheapest franchise you can buy for any restaurant is $75,000.
Yeah.
And that's just to own a slip of paper that says we're not gonna sue you if you decide to use such and such a name. That and then you have to fucking figure out, okay, well, where am I gonna put it? Where's my store gonna be? Then you have to pay for the fucking construction to have the fucking inside. You know what? I'm going off a beaten path here. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm sorry, Farty. I'm hijacking. Go ahead.
Well, with Macca's, right? It's with the franchisee. After everything's all said and done, the margin is not really all that much, but it is set. And that's where some people take the advantage of buying multiple franchises, because it's multiple of the set amount. So that's where they can end up making a bit of money out of it. Because if you live off, say, one restaurant's set profit margin.
Let's be honest here. In order to make money with a franchise, you need multiple stores. You need more than like 3 stores to make money on a franchise.
Yeah. And any more than that, you're actually making the profit then. So that's been for decades set on this one business model of the minimum wage. Now, if you upset the apple cart by increasing the amount of one factor in your bill model, well, there you go. That's just eating into your profits. Then could possibly even fucking start putting you in arrears or something like that, especially if you're like, say, at McDonald's, where how many fucking staff working at McDonald's on a regular basis? And there's arguments in Australia where sort of some small places like up in Katoomba, for example, they've actually banned McDonald's from actually being up there. But the same kind of thing happens with Coles supermarkets, where it's because it's a big corporation, and there's usually a smaller supermarket called an IGA, which is an Independent Grocers of Australia.
Right.
But like they're usually saying, but where are you? We're your community grocers. Yeah, but you also charge through the fucking nose too. But what a Coles and Macca's usually do, and KFC sometimes does this too, is because they're outside corporations that do get a lot more support and all this kind of stuff than an independent local business, that allows them to employ a bunch of people. And that's a bunch of jobs that we didn't have before. And it's also a bunch of guaranteed jobs, because it's not like they're going to fucking fold in about 5 minutes, you know?
Right.
So yeah, like I said, if you upset the apple cart by making that you have to now pay people several dollars more, well, it's only logical that people will have to try and chop a few jobs here and there, because there's like, you know, a wage is actually quite a large sum of money. Like, say, like, you know, at least it might be like something along the lines of $17,000 to $20,000 a year. But that's $17,000 to $20,000 a year. One person you don't have to pay for. Some people might be worth more to you. For me, like back in the day, I was only sort of getting like about $70-something thousand a year, fucking driving trucks,
right.
which was comfortable.
Well, see, here in the States, 70-something thousand a year is like, you're doing pretty fucking good. That's like family of three, family of like 3 kids and a wife at home. Nobody has to work but dad, money. That's 70 grand in the United States.
But I was also renting as an alcoholic as well, so I was spending like fucking
okay.
wasn't much left at the end of the week. Fucking
it's the pedal to booze pipeline.
Yeah, pretty much. I was only really working to fund my drinking habit. But fuck, where was I there? Where was I going before that?
I don't remember.
But good on you. Total fucking mind blank now.
Will this help you? Oh my god. Someone photoshopped a Spirit Halloween banner onto the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser thing in Disney World. Oh, I love that.
Fucking. Oh, bloody fuck. I'm going to listen back to this, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, it was really something fucking really important I was going to fucking say, too, and I can't fucking remember it now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Kind of one of those things I wanted to get out so I could predict it before it happened.
Oh, shit. No, we're not having that, because every time you do that shit, it happens, and it's not a prediction. It's because Farty said it was going to happen. People were like, hey,
yeah.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's go do what Farty said to do.
No, it's because Jedi powers are real, and I am actually a god.
Oh, I really hope that's not true.
I can't make it rain. I can't make traffic lights change when I want to.
Yeah.
Well, at least I can look like that and film my offsider.
Yeah. So I'm currently scrolling through Twitter to try and find something to kind of cap off the stream. And I stumbled across a video of Jake Paul's fat ass eating fried chicken on his couch.
Well, I saw a picture the other day of Jake Paul's badass fucking falling against the fucking ropes after being knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
I had a fucking laugh at that too.
Yeah. I saw the same thing. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't wait for fucking Tyson to just destroy his ass.
Nah, he called it off.
Tyson did or Paul did?
I don't know. It's cancelled because of fucking Jake Paul getting knocked the fuck out.
Really? Oh, so it's probably his team that fucking called it off.
Yeah, I don't know whether like he called it off in disgust or whether he felt sorry for him. Like, man, this is too easy.
It would be like beating on a baby, and I don't want to do that, man.
Tyson?
I went to jail once for beating on a woman, so I don't want to do that again.
Fucking crazy, right? Like how fucking intimidating this dude is. He's like fucking huge. He's like 8 feet tall, stacked like fucking 2 Empire State Buildings, had a baby with the World Trade Center buildings, and then it was even more fucking stacked on top of Mount Everest. Fucking, that's how big this guy is. But he has the voice of like a fucking 3-year-old toddler. And somehow his aura is still so threatening that like you don't laugh at the 3-year-old voice.
Yeah, but that's kind of like everybody has to have a downfall somewhere. Like especially like the more sort of element of perfection that somebody is, the more of a downfall they must have. And that's like the old adage about like muscle men, like they got giant fucking muscles, but their dick's tiny as fuck. Or like good example is Robbie Williams, right? Robbie Williams is a successful singer. He's got lots of money. He's actually quite a good-looking dude. Chicks want to fucking hate rape his fucking face and all this kind of shit and all this. And you're like, oh, this cunt's so fucking successful. He's got it all and all this. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this cunt? And then, like, the first time I ever heard him was on fucking Graham Norton. And they asked him a question and basically, like, fucking... Like, his response was so fucking retarded and shit, it wasn't bloody funny. It sounded like he had 3 brain cells and 2 of them were asleep. And it was like...
Well, he is a professional boxer.
No, Robbie Williams. Fucking...
Oh, Robbie... Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like, his response was something along the lines of fucking, I like turtles, but it was like, oh, I like turtles! Like, oh, thanks. Retarded. There's something wrong with him. Good.
That warms my blood.
Mike Tyson's problem there. He's like, he's got all the muscle and the intimidation and all this, and he takes back the key.
Yeah. It's and you know it's crazy because you still listen to fucking Tyson and you still listen to that voice of his. It's very soft, and I it's almost feminine, isn't it? Like it's an almost feminine voice that Mike Tyson has, but still like you're like, holy shit. I better not laugh when this guy is speaking because he will bite my ear off.
Yeah, you really don't want to hear it coming from behind you, like saying something along the lines of,
I'm gonna fuck you till you love me.
He's a crazy bastard, but you gotta respect the man. I know what I'm doing after the stream party. There's a 10-second clip of a comedian calling Justin Trudeau a faggot, and I have to watch it.
oh, you can do me on Twitter.
Okay, I'll do that right now. I would share it with the class, but I'm already having issues, and I've already determined that,
Post link in the chat.
yeah. Oh, I sent it to you on Twitter.
No, yeah, post a link in the chat for the audience.
Oh, on the... That means I gotta fucking... Hang on. Will this work? I don't think this is gonna work.
Hold on.
Oh, it worked. It's sent. Wait, I think it's sent. Can you check the chat and see if it's sent? And if not, just fucking... Huh? It did? Okay. Well, there you go. Justin Trudeau getting called a faggot by Shane Gillis.
Yeah, I'll post it to YouTube.
Oh my goodness.
If I open YouTube, that'll kill your bandwidth and shit.
Yeah, it'll kill my bandwidth if I fucking try and play it for everyone. So guys, we're gonna head on out of here. I hope you guys had a great time. Sorry about the late stream, but again, having internet issues still. Hopefully we'll have them cleared up for Saturday. And who knows, maybe... Huh? What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Well.
Nothing.
Oh my God, Farty. Use your words.
Oh, nothing. Keep going. Yeah, continue.
Well, I was just gonna say have a good time, everybody, and we'll see you Saturday.
Frank and Farty, they're a couple of jerks. Can't stand each other, but somehow it works.